Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our show. Today is September 18th, and we'd like to thank you for joining us. Later on in our show, we'll be joined by Judy Taylor and Dave Van Buskirk, who are from the Chamber of Commerce, and they're going to talk to us a little bit about the Polly Crockett Festival. So definitely stay tuned for that. It's going to be very exciting.
That's right.
We have some big shot birthdays to start off our show. We have Robert Blake from Beretta, who is turning 80. Fred Willard is also turning 80, and then we have singer-actor Frankie Avalon, 73. Holly Robinson Pete from Hangin' with Mr. Cooper and 21 Jump Street is 49. We have Aisha Tyler from CSI and Talk Soup is 43. Disgraced cyclist Lance Armstrong is 42. We also have Jada Pinkett Smith from a couple of Matrix films, and the X-Men films is 40. And then we also have Jason Sudeikis from SNL, Horrible Bosses, and We're the Millers, who is 38. And I know We're the Millers is actually in theaters right now, and it's been in theaters for a while, but I've heard that it's actually done pretty well.
I heard that too, and I hadn't gone to see it yet. Obviously, I don't really get to go see that many movies until they come out on Redbox, and I'll just pay $1 for them that way.
But I've heard it's actually a really funny movie. I know Jennifer Aniston and Emma Roberts is also in that movie, and it's supposed to be kind of like a family RV trip type deal. But I think it's pretty funny from the previews.
And in some more entertainment news, we're talking about movies. Well, with the last 2 installments in the Fast and Furious film series grossing more than $1.4 billion worldwide, and Fast and Furious 7 racing in theaters next summer, Universal Pictures is already looking down the road to a Fast and Furious 9. Lucas Black, the star of Fast and Furious 3 Tokyo Drift, has signed a deal to appear in the 7th film, with options to appear in the 8th and 9th installments. So
wow,
I think
that's a lot.
That's a lot of Fast and Furious.
Yeah, see, I'm not a big personal fan, but yeah, I can't believe they're making more and more. I went and saw the 6th one, and I thought it was getting maybe a little bit stupid, but I guess for those hardcore fans out there, they're probably really happy about it.
I'm not necessarily a hardcore fan, but I do enjoy them, but I think that they should probably stop.
Yeah, you want to stop while you're ahead. Don't get too crazy.
Don't get behind.
Well, we always have our wacky holidays for the day, and today is actually National Cheeseburger Day, and it must be really a big deal because it's actually on the list twice, which I don't know why they would do that, but it's also National Attention Deficit Disorder Awareness Day, Hug a Greeting Card Writer Day, and National Play-Doh Day. So again, I don't know why or who makes up these days, but I'm gonna abide by some of these, and so
I'm gonna go home and play with Play-Doh and eat a cheeseburger at the same time. Sounds good, and I don't have to work.
Way to be festive.
You got to support the smaller little
holidays.
Yeah. And in some more news, in the wake of the deadly Washington Navy Yard shooting rampage, the White House officials announced Monday that they were postponing an East Room concert with Barack and Michelle Obama celebrating various styles of Latin music. They're supposed to be, I guess, a Latin music concert, and there's a lot of people on here that were supposed to perform, but they're postponing that until a later date.
It's probably a good thing.
And I know that I remember hearing on the radio that a lot of people were probably going to take sick days. I mean, that's understandable, very understandable.
Yeah, for something like this to happen so close to 9/11, it's just kind of eerie. I don't really like it.
Yeah, and if I remember it correctly, like the gunman ended up turning the gun on himself. But if I remember reading that correctly, don't hold me to that. I think I read that right, and then I think there's still more suspects too. There's more than one person. So
yeah, I haven't heard very much about it. Only what's been on the news.
And I know the FBI has gotten into it too and everything. So it's a big deal because it's in Washington D.C. on a military base.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't look too good. But any lighter news for us, Blake?
Any lighter news? Well, we have some pretty interesting things. Jerry Seinfeld is heading to the announcer's booth on this is a day late. Oh well, I'll go back to that later. But let's see, AMC. You know how they have The Walking Dead? Well, The Walking Dead is set to begin its 4th season on AMC next month, but the network is already looking ahead to 2015 when it launches a companion series to the original. While no plot details have been divulged yet, the new series called Spread the Dead looks likely to approach the zombified world from an entirely different angle.
Huh. That is very strange because I know that The Walking Dead is such a popular show, and I'm a really big fan of it, but that's kind of weird that they're doing their own like spin-off series. I've seen a lot of different shows try to do that where they, you know, instead of having a whole series based on one character's perspective, they'll do a different character's perspective. I think that's pretty cool. And I'll definitely look forward to that.
Oh, yeah.
They need to put it on Netflix. I've been
I know,
waiting for
they
it
really
to
do.
show up there.
They really do. Actually, I think I've seen it on Netflix.
It is, but haven't updated
Oh,
it
not
yet.
updated.
Right.
Okay, I got you. I understand what you're saying now. And again, more Miley Cyrus stuff. This time it's with Elton John. We all know Elton John has kind of battled some demons in his lifetime and gleaned some hard-fought wisdom for his efforts. So who better to flash a warning sign at today's most successful young pop stars? Elton says, "I look at Miley Cyrus and I see a meltdown waiting to happen. She's so young, but she's got 2 records in the top 20, so who's going to stop her?"
It seems like a lot of celebrities are trying to throw advice out at Miley Cyrus, but I guess.
It doesn't look like she's.
But I guess all we can do is kind of just sit back and see what happens.
Yeah, hopefully it'll all cool off. Hopefully. Hope so.
And we also have a segment for the history buffs that are watching our show. September 18th, nothing exciting may happen, but in a couple years back in time, we have some pretty interesting things that happen. Way back in 1789, the American government took out its first ever loan, and you want to guess for how much that was?
200 million.
No, more like 200,000, but I mean.
Okay, well, 200 was right. I'll consider that a win.
Yeah, and then in 1906 we had a major typhoon and tsunami in Hong Kong, which that's not too happy. But then in 1977 we have the Voyager 1 spacecraft took the first ever space photograph of Earth and the Moon together. And then also we have in 1997 U.S. media magnate Ted Turner donated $1 billion to the United Nations.
Wow.
So they're just a couple of things that happened back in history on September 18th. And we will have more to Wake Up Winchester right after this.
Young man, we received an anonymous tip about an underage drinking party last night at this address. When teens drink on your property, you're responsible. Parents who host lose the most.
How you doing? My name's Steve. My family's lived in this neighborhood for years. Recently, things got so tight, we had to go to our local food bank for help. I lost a lot of sleep worrying about what the neighbors might think. That is until I saw them there, too. How'd I do, Steve?
A little stiff. You could have done a little better.
What? Come on. You know, I have an Academy Award.
Yeah, but not for playing me.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
So make sure you tune in for Sports Cafe on Wednesday and Thursday nights at 7 o'clock.
When I have an asthma attack, I feel scared. Sometimes my parents have to take me to the hospital. I feel like a fish with no water.
You know how to react to their asthma attacks. Here's how to prevent them. Call 1-866-NO-ATTACKS. Visit www.noattacks.org or call your doctor. Because even one attack is one too many.
A healthy tomorrow begins with a solid foundation at home. And there are simple ways to start your kids on a path to success. Eat dinner together. Add veggies to each meal. Save treats for special occasions. And be sure to get up and play an hour each day. Help your kids make all of their dreams come true. Be our guest to healthy living today at letsmove.gov.
Welcome back to Wake Up Winchester. We're joined by Judy Taylor and Dave Van Buskirk, and they are from the Chamber of Commerce, and they're actually here to talk to us a little bit about the 31st annual Polly Crockett Festival. It's very nice to have you guys on our show.
Thank you, Casey Blake.
So is there anything different that's going to be going on at the festival this year?
Well, this year we have considerably more activity, so I guess that would be different. One of the highlights that we'd like to talk about this morning is the fact that Coach Carr is going to be in the dunk booth. So everybody should come out and make sure you try to dunk the coach. We have 67 vendors this year, and that's quite a few, 17 food booths. So there's just plenty of activity, everything from the bear hunt for the kids where they go on a scavenger hunt and get a prize at the end, to a $500 drawing for one lucky winner. So lots of activity this year, yes.
And how much participation does it take from everybody to put this event together?
Well, it's Judy gets all the credit, quite frankly, because she does all the work, her and two other people at the chamber, Shannon and Dolores. But it's just an unbelievable amount of work to put this together. But it's for a great cause, and it's really exciting. So.
And if people want to volunteer to help you guys with this event, because it does take so much work, is there any way for them to do that?
Absolutely. They should call the Chamber of Commerce, and especially on Friday and Saturday, we could use all the help we could get, so early in the morning.
Is there going to be any sort of entertainment for the Polly Crockett Festival?
There is. This year we have from WCDT, they're featuring bands all day. I think there are a total of 7 bands that are going to play throughout the day on a separate stage. So that's something new this year as well. So we also have the Polly stage, Polly Crockett stage, where we have performers all day long that perform on that stage. So there are 2 different areas where we will have entertainment.
And for your vendors, how do people go about getting, accepted to be a vendor?
Well, they need to call the chamber first of all, and currently I think we're no longer taking anyone this year, obviously, since it's this weekend. But if they call the Chamber of Commerce, and there is a $80 fee for the participants in the booths and crafts and food, but all they have to do is make a call.
And what type of vendors do you have? You mentioned crafts, food.
There are all kinds of crafts and handmade jewelry and those kind of things this year. The food is just incredible every year, and there are, like I said, 17 booths this year, which will feature everything from the homemade ice cream on up. And mostly it's homemade crafts and things that people have done throughout the year and want to sell.
So for those who've actually never been to a Polly Crockett Festival, can you tell them about where it's located?
Absolutely can. It's in Cowan this year. It does rotate around the county over the years. The past 5 years, I think it's been in Cowan. So you can just make your way to Cowan, and there's plenty of parking. And we pretty much tie up the whole town. So those 3 days will be full of activity in Cowan.
And it is called the Polly Crockett Festival. Is there any background info onto why it was called that? Or
there is. It's Polly Crockett actually was born in eastern Tennessee, and she moved to the Franklin County area later in life. And there used to be picnics at churches and things where they would meet and greet and get to know other people, and that's where Polly met Davy Crockett. So they love at first sight. They got married a year later, and they had 3 children. And Davy had to go off to war in the early 1800s and left Polly there to take care of 3 kids during the 1800s. You can imagine having to fend for your kids and feed kids and take care of the livestock and all that kind of thing. So when Davy got back, they had 3 children, and the third child, after the third child, actually at age 27, she passed away. So this is to honor Polly and all of the, she was actually an early feminist because she took care of her family, and while Davy was at war, take care of 3 kids, and we just wanted to honor her. She is buried in Franklin County, and so it's a tribute to her.
That's really great. I actually didn't ever really know that, and I think that's great for a lot of people because it puts a whole new light on the festival that they never knew.
It absolutely does, yes.
So how do you guys come together and think of these different ideas? Like, I think the dunk booth is absolutely hilarious to get all the teachers and everything in there.
We spend a lot of time. We start back in end of May, I think it was. Toward June, we started meeting weekly, and we have a group of volunteers. Everybody's a volunteer in this outfit. So we've met weekly since the beginning of June, I think it was, And we have a brainstorming session where we try to think of ideas, things that would attract people and where they could have fun and enjoy it in a family environment. And just we've met every week since then, and now we're ready to take action. So.
And how long is festival going to actually be going on?
It starts this Friday and lasts through Sunday. So Saturday is actually the main day when most of the activities start, but there'll be things to do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
It seems like there's a lot of stuff to do, and it certainly seems like it's suited for a lot of different ages as well.
It is. We have a money dig for the young children, and petting zoo, and there's just a lot of activities for the younger kids. Everything on up to the skillet toss for the adults, cornhole contest, and just a lot of activity, really.
You mentioned a money dig. I actually don't know what that is.
Well, the money dig is really fun because this year we added to that the bear hunt, where the kids get a program where they have to go to several stations, I think 7, and they get a stamp at each station, and then they get a prize if they get all 7 stamps. At the end of the bear hunt, there's a huge pile of sand that they have to dig and find money. And we've buried, I think it's about $300, isn't it? $300.
That's a fun sandbox.
Sponsored by, yeah, that's right. If the adults could get in there, right?
How old?
Yeah, well, I think you have to pass a height test. So,
Yes.
so
well, for today, you might
and looking
win.
at your chair, you might pass, right?
That's right.
But it's a lot of fun for the kids, and it's something that they see it as a treasure hunt, and $300 provided by Citizens Bank, so it's really a good thing.
Watching them dig for the money is lots of fun.
It really is. Yes.
I wish I had a sandbox like that.
Everything in our children's section is based on STEM, where it's all educational, and we're trying to emphasize science, technology, engineering, and math.
That's great.
And ATA will be there.
Right.
You want to talk about ATA?
That's okay. No, go ahead.
They will be teaching the children aerospace dynamics, and they'll be making a rocket out of a straw and piece of paper. And then on that straw, it depends on where they position the paper to the distance that the rocket will actually launch. And so the top 10 winners that launch their rocket, after they've sat with the engineer and they've taught them all this and they've certified them as an official engineer for AEDC, then the top 10 winners 2 weeks later are brought to our chamber, and they sit in the boardroom where our board members currently sit, and Dave is a board member, and we do tent cards for them with a spaceship on them and their name. So they're actually around the table, and then the base commander comes out and talks to them about the importance of learning their math and science if they want to be a pilot or an engineer. And then they award prizes, and they give away money also to the children. And their parents are there, so it's a pretty unique experience.
Great program, great experience.
That sounds amazing, and I think that is so cool, because I know a lot of kids are interested in that field now, and that's a really cool prize.
Yes.
So yeah, definitely, I mean, look out for that and check out for that, and if your kids are into that kind of stuff, which I know a lot of them love making stuff like that, being with an official person like that, that's going to be a lot of fun.
I've filmed some stuff that had to do with Colonel Ray Toth and with the STEM before, and I know he's a really great colonel, and he's amazing. He will. I can't wait. I'm gonna have to go down there and watch, because I know that he's really smart, and I can't wait to see what he does with some of the kids, because he was really excited for some of the stuff that our STEM classes have done. So it's just kind of cool to see him getting out to the rest of the community and spreading, the importance of education. Yeah.
And when we do bring the children back 2 weeks later, perhaps you guys will come and film that.
That would be wonderful.
That'd be nice.
And I think it's really nice that the people from the community are, pitching in and making this a great event. And the bear event, or the bear hunt you spoke about, that's a very different idea. What process did you guys use to come up with something like that?
Well, it's always a process, obviously, and it's a brain tank of volunteers that try to create something, especially for the kids, that is unique and exciting. So this year it just happened to be the bear hunt. It could be anything, but it was a great idea. And then we have the stamp that has a bear paw that they get a stamp at each station, and you get a prize at the end. So it was just came out of the meetings that we had.
And Davey actually shot a bear, as the legend goes, when he was only 3 years old.
Exactly.
That's cool. So for the children games, they're obviously, so 18 would be the limit, or is it much younger?
Oh, it's younger. Probably 12, I think, or something of that nature. Yeah.
And the scout.
So you can't come to the kids' part anyway.
But there is a bungee jump. There's a Davies Adventure Zone, and the National Guard's going to be there, and the Army, and so there will be lots of different activities there that they'll have.
There are a lot of activities for young adults, period. But this year is something new. Also, we have 9 different troops from the Scouts that are going to be there. And they're actually going to be out on one of the streets there, spread out to show how they camp out and how they survive when they're on their camps, knot tying and rope climbing and those kind of things. And then right across the street from that will be the antique car show. And there are this year 50 cars, which is really cool, and a lot more than we've had in the past. So plenty of things for adults and kids, buggy rides, horse rides. So it'll be a lot of fun.
I think it's really cool that you're involving both learning and fun at the same time.
Exactly.
A lot of that.
So to get the National Guard, you just call up and say, hey, we're having Polly Crockett, or do they say we want to do it, or how does that process work?
Well, we've called and made the initial ask, and then they're excited. They're bringing the climbing wall, and they're trying to bring all these other different components. They love being involved, and they're always there to help anytime we ask them to do anything. They're great.
That is really great. And so it definitely seems like it's a family fun event, and it sounds like it's going to be a great time. Again, it's this weekend. You said most of the events are going to be going on
Saturday and Sunday. Yes.
But definitely bring the whole family out. It's going to be in Cowan, and it's definitely seems like you guys have put in a lot of hard work, and I hope that it goes very well. We'll be right back to Wake Up Winchester right after this. Thank you so much.
Bring out the action hero in you. Fuel up right and get energized. Be part of the greatest action movie ever. The first movie that puts you in the action. Show us how you train and eat like an action hero. Join in at actionheroalliance.com.
My life is full of statistics. Thing is, I could have dropped out of school and become one myself, but I didn't because I had people that believed in me. Here's another statistic. 7,000 students drop out every school day. That's 1 every 26 seconds. It's time that students know that we believe in them.
Inspire a student and share your message of support at boostup.org.
This is one amazing truffula tree. Can you imagine a place where these grow everywhere? Yes, it's called the Forest, a magical place to enjoy with your family. So discover the forest and explore all the wonder that's there. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Welcome back to Wake Up Winchester, and thank you for staying tuned during that commercial break. Again, we want to thank Judy Taylor and Dave Van Buskirk for being on our show and talking to us a lot, actually, about the Polly Crockett Festival, which will be taking place this weekend in Cowan. Most of the events are going to be held on Saturday, but there are a lot of things going on. There's a lot of food vendors, arts and crafts, entertainment. You know, they talked about some of the several different events that are going to be going on for the kids and the adults. So it seems like a great way to kind of go out, learn a little bit, but also if maybe win some money, go do a little shopping, grab some nice food. Yeah. So it definitely sounds like a great event, and you know, again, we are always willing to promote that because I know a lot of hard effort goes into that, and it definitely shows. So
I still wish I could do that money dig. I really do. That sounds really, really cool, actually.
Well, maybe you can, I don't know, hire a 3-year-old to
hire a 3-year-old. Yeah, I'll give you 50% of the share. Yeah, I don't think that would work. I wouldn't do that.
If you did miss about the money dig, there's actually going to be, I guess, kind of like a bear hunt type thing where all the kids go around to certain stations, get something stamped, and then at the end they have this kind of sandbox, if you will, where $300 in cash is hidden inside, and they have to dig for it. So
that's really cool. I'm gonna have to go by and just take a look at that, see how all the kids enjoy that, because that is really great. I wonder, like, that's just really cool. I've never heard of something like that. But anyway, on to some more stuff. Mark Wahlberg is an Oscar-nominated actor and producer, and now he can add high school graduate to his list of achievements. The 42-year-old star earned his diploma through an online program in June and celebrated his achievement at an event for the Taco Bell Foundation for Teens in Irvine, California on Monday. Wahlberg, who dropped out of school in the 9th grade, said that the event, "The greatest regret in my life is quitting school. I was lucky, but a lot of my friends who did the same ended up incarcerated or worse."
Right. Yeah, there is a pretty strong statistic when it comes to high school dropouts and how they're, you know, not usually very successful. So again, he was very lucky to have made it this far.
Very lucky.
But I think it's really great that he's going back to get, you know, his diploma, and it's kind of it's a pretty good, I guess, a role model thing.
I think Drake did the same thing too, didn't he?
I think I've seen a lot of stars, you know, actually go back and get their GED, or, you know, even that, maybe decide that they want to go to college and stuff like that. So I think that's really great.
I like it. It's pretty cool to me. I mean, it's interesting to see all these, you know, people that have made it so far even without having it. You know, the lucky ones.
I know. I can't imagine dropping out of high school at 9th grade. I don't know where I'd be right now. So.
Me either, because I mean, you know, it's high school is a very important time, and it's as much as we think we don't like it, it's still kind of fun at the same time.
Right, and even if you don't find out anything about math, science, or English or reading, you probably find out a little bit about yourself too.
Right. So I mean, it's just, you know, it's enjoyable. You get the knowledge that you need for a lot of, like, say, vocational schools after you graduate high school. So it's a pretty good base and foundation.
So anything else you got for us?
Well, some more Miley Cyrus stuff, just basically that Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth are officially over.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
So, I mean, you know, saw that one coming.
Yeah, actually they've been broken up for a long time, and I know that the song Wrecking Ball is actually about him, I guess, and the heartbreak. Yeah, she's actually disclosed something about that, because I think she was getting a lot of flack for the kind of risky behavior in the music video, and she wanted to kind of specify to people that this is what it's about, and I was trying to tell a story and not anything else.
So that's all we actually have time for today. So, you know, if you want to get in contact with us, the website is, I can't
it's
remember
wakeupwinchester@fcrebels.com. If you have any comments, questions, or you would even like to be a guest on our show, you can email us at that address. But I'm Casey Dennis.
I'm Blake Shaw.
Thanks for watching.